Not even in basketball, but in baseball. Tony Vitello got there June of 2017. Hasn't been there long at all. And yet, they're partying in Knoxville all morning long, into the night, and will be all week. That's where we start this morning here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. It's unfortunate, but it's something I know Arkansas fans will have plenty of opinions about. Our McLarty Daniel Hotline is wide open. If you got some thoughts on what happened last night, we got plenty of other stuff to talk about. Congratulations to the Big O, Oliver Miller, part of the Southwest Conference 2024 Hall of Fame class. Hoping we can get him on this week. We'll talk about that amongst other things. We are 66 days out from Razorback football. And I know that because of the SEC kind of giving you a heads up on when scheduling is, you can figure out your game plan well beyond the season ahead. And if you're in the market of staying somewhere in Northwest Arkansas, don't look further than the Inn at the Mill. Stayed there for Ruskin's wedding. Had a great time. It's a great location. Some Johnson exit off I-49. It's close to Springdale, Rogers, Benville, and it's close to Fayetteville. It's literally in the center and heart of everything. I'm a big fan of the homemade cookies. Get it every time. So whether it's an upcoming football game this fall, if you're going to a concert at the Amp, maybe you just need to travel for business, you can always call Jennifer there at the Inn in the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit inatthemill.com. That's inatthemill.com. Someone that stayed there a dozen times, I can tell you, you're going to have a good time. Plus, this is the other thing. It's not even Wednesday yet for a What's Your Beef Wednesday, but somehow, some way, the Texas Longhorns tried to upstage either the Aggies or the Volunteers this morning and last night, based on them releasing and people finding out that their head coach had been fired, David Pierce. I mean, that's the most Texas thing ever. There's a lot to unpack this morning. It's one of those things where I was not going to be happy either way. I was going to be a little happier if A&M won it, but Vols got it done. And this was a team that was number one heading into the tournament, number one overall seed, won the SEC tournament, by the way. We should add that. And now they're a national champion. So they undid a lot of things that said couldn't be done prior to last night. They hit the absolute you-know-what out of the baseball. That has been a strength of this team, not just this year, but several seasons under Tony Vitello. 3 college World Series appearances in 4 seasons. And that goes to show you this is a really good baseball coach. You don't have to like him. You just kind of admit he has to know what he's doing at 45 years old. And they play in a different, provocative, over-the-top, braggadocious way. That is not the standard here in Fayetteville. But I always say when it comes to guys that are a little flamboyant, over the top, you got to back it up. That's what Tennessee did. That's what they did last night. Again, jump in here if you've got any thoughts as we continue on throughout the morning. We're going to talk with Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, coming up at 6:30. Bruce Stanton, I guess, decked out in Tennessee gear, is going to join us at 7:20. And then Tom Murphy's going to join us at 8:10 for our Pro Hogs update. Big C, what was your first thoughts on when Tennessee struck out that final batter for A&M? What was the initial thought that maybe hit your head last night?
Well, they made enough plays and they hit the baseball when they needed to. Texas A&M made that late surge. I kind of thought they would. I didn't expect them to get down 6-1 before they started to hit the baseball. But man, you got to give it to Tennessee. They came up big, and I wasn't so sure that they would. I had a feeling that the game would be close throughout the entirety of it, and I thought maybe A&M would kind of pull it out just because of the history with Tennessee, kind of like Arkansas, can't break through, but they did. And that's the difference right now. They were able to break through and get it done, and it was a magical season. The number one team wins it for the first time since 1999.
And I wonder, did last night, in a sense, give you an idea that Arkansas can break through? Did Tennessee's success, not just last night, but over the course of the last few years, give you a reason to believe that Arkansas is going to be that team? Because we got to, again, SEC-wise, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, now Tennessee. It was almost another West team. I know the West is expiring as of next Monday, but that's where you are right now. And really, if you think about it, since 2017, with the exception of Arkansas not being Oregon State, it would have been every SEC team wins since 2017.
I don't think one's directly related to the other, but I do think the more SEC teams that win it, I think the more that win it, the odds are in your favor that you're going to be one of the next teams. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. I mean, the more teams that win it, I think it improves your chances in some way, but that doesn't mean it's just going to happen. Obviously, you've got to go out there and make it happen.
And we'll see what Arkansas is able to do. They got a big pitcher pickup yesterday. Ohio State lefty. Let me find his name real quick. I know people were excited to see that addition. What's his name? Landon. I don't even try. Bishai's, however you say his name. We'll figure it out some point. Chuck or Phil will tell me. This was a kid that was like consensus top 5 portal-wise. And I know people are wanting to see what Arkansas. You've got a couple JUCO players, a couple guys out of the portal that, again, had some good stats at lower classifications of baseball. This is your first big fish that you've got. Mason Molina was a big fish last year. I think people were excited about him. Mace had a decent season. He had some instances where you're like, man, this guy's going to really help you in postseason. Unfortunately, the season didn't play out like you thought it would necessarily. A couple texts here on the McLarty Dana hotline. JT in Hot Springs. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not, but he says, he states, I love Tony V. He also asked the question, how does it improve us? Each team that wins a championship only strengthens itself, and I guess the SEC to some extent. I think I would
just look at it like this. I mean, how many different teams have won it? I mean, it's not been the same team every year, so obviously that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. If your rival wins it, that doesn't mean you can't win it the next year.
I think it when you have, like, if Tony Vitello and Dave Van Horn are recruiting the same player, and that kid, I mean, he didn't grow up on, like, in the woods. Like, he has a TV. He just saw who won the national championship. It's a more difficult ask to get that kid to campus and ultimately sign him at Arkansas because of this success, not just of Tennessee, not so much Ole Miss. Mississippi State is a better example, but there are, again, that is something that Dave Van Horn has to deal with now with another SEC team winning the national championship. Would have been either way with Texas A&M if they had gotten it done last night. Speaking of getting it done, Sean at the Fence Man, his entire team, not just Sean, but their entire team gets it done. Give them a call at 479-782-3936. The great thing about the Fence Man is whether it's a huge job. I know we've got some business owners driving to work early this morning, and we've got some homeowners also driving to work early this morning. Whatever you need, they can help you out. It could be a small repair, or it could be a large fence that you have to figure out. One guy to call, Sean the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. All right, I'm done talking Tennessee. I want to talk about the Big O. We'll do that on the other side.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
This is The Morning Rush.
House here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
Hey, Wits.
Billy, hay is for horses. Are my ears that long?
Oh, you got me again. I'm gonna order a large Boss Hog pizza for fishing tomorrow.
That's a lot of food. You taking a friend?
No, sir. I'm gonna use it as bait.
Pizza as bait for fishing?
Yes'm. The catfish love 'em. Some Jim's Razorback pizza.
They do?
Yes'm. They chase the bacon faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup. And they come right to the river's edge when I call them too. Woo! Fish suey!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I asked about you, Ty, and I'm doing this anyway. I'm joking. I'm serious. Clay, I'm teasing. And he's on in place of the injured Ryan Mallett, and he has been brilliant. 12-13. Duke's caught down. Whoa, on a rope. Oh, my goodness. Joe Adams. There's not a backup in the country that can throw a ball like that.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, so we've got some thoughts already on Tony Vitello on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Listen, I promise we will get to it throughout the show this morning. If you want to continue to flood those in, text us, call us. McLarty Daniel hotline wide open throughout the show, 877-377-6963. Let's talk about an Arkansan, though. I say Arkansan, he's from Dallas-Fort Worth, but a guy that played here at Arkansas is a stud. The big O, Oliver Miller. We'll do that in just one sec. First, I want to tell you about our friends at Farm Credit. Are you trying to find the right financing to remodel your current home, or maybe you're trying to build a new one that's easier to make it easier on you. Anytime you go through this process, you want to make it as easy as possible. Well, you can stop by one of 25 Farm Credit of Western Arkansas locations and let their experts guide you from start to finish. Log on to myaglender.com to see all the financing options they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true for more than 100 years. So there's plenty, and I mean plenty, of Big O stuff that we can talk about this morning. He was an absolute stud back in the day. This is a guy that is again now added to the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame in 2024. I think the most notable highlight is when he blocked Shaquille O'Neal, sent that game to overtime. Arkansas ended up coming up top. There were some epic battles between him and Shaq back in the day. He was one of the few guys in college that could guard Shaq. He also had a professional career as well. But let me just read off some of the Big O's accolades this morning. He was part of 3 straight Southwest Conference regular season titles and tournament champs the last 3 years. Guys, listen to this. When he was on campus, Arkansas was 115-24. They lost 24 games. That is it. 24 games. He holds the all-time record at Arkansas in field goal percentage and block shots. Guy was just an absolute stud. Just an absolute stud. And again, it's always fun to reminisce. Let's go back a little bit and remember some of those days.
Here from Fort Worth, Texas, number 25, Oliver Miller. Well, Arkansas is getting 88 for board, and the basket goes down. Miller's the basket will count. Well, that turned the crowd on. Oh, hey, inside the Miller, the big goal. Wow.
Now, JT asked a very pertinent question this morning on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. How the heck did it take 32 years to get this guy in the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame? I just read off what he did in the conclusion of the Southwest Conference. And I say the conclusion, Arkansas's conclusion in the Southwest Conference. And it's taken this long. Now, his induction's coming up Tuesday, August the 13th in Waco, Texas. I'd love to get Big O on the show. Hopefully we are able to get him on efforting that this week just to get his thoughts. But, I mean, you just think about the success, Reunion Arena. I'm excited to be back in Dallas, Texas next month. We've got SEC Media Days, and I hope, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope they consider doing something in Dallas because that is an area. I know Texas is there and A&M's there, and they both have large contingencies, but you don't have, like, I have friends and I have people I know in Nashville, Tennessee that are Arkansas fans. Same with Atlanta, Georgia, where the SEC football championship is. I know we've talked about baseball being there, but they should incorporate Dallas somehow because think about, like, you watching, you would know better than me. You as a listener, especially if you're listening this early in the morning, would know better how dominant you were at Reunion Arena. Now, I'm not saying they're going to move the championship game and the postseason basketball tournament for the SEC out of Nashville because I think it's a great setup to Dallas. Wouldn't mind every once in a while if they did that, but you need to incorporate Dallas somehow, some way. And we think about, like, football players. Like, you think about the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Texas being a great area where Arkansas can go recruit maybe some 3-stars, North Texas kids, specifically Northeast Texas kids that are not necessarily just diehard UT or A&M or Baylor fans or whatever. But I think the thing about Dallas we got to remember is you've got some stud basketball players. Jordan Walsh, while he went to Link Prep, was a Dallas-Fort Worth area kid. Anthony Black, another example. I know his brother is it Brooklyn Black? I can't remember his younger brother's name, but you've had success in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in basketball. And when you think about Cal, like, you can go all over the country. We got some New Jersey connections. We were talking with Kareem Reed earlier last week. I know Kareem is pumped to be back in Madison Square Garden. He's from the Bronx, like that area. You've got, I think, 3 New Jersey connections on the roster with DJ Wagner, Boogie Flan, and Billy Richmond. So that's quite a number, right? Dallas-Fort Worth has been kind to you over the years. Again, Oliver Miller's not the only one. I just mentioned some players kind of recently, but that's an area that you can continue to have success in, even post-Cal, because of how close it is in proximity. And I think when you think about the additions of Oklahoma and Texas that we've are going to deal with as of Monday, and then from here on out, I'm not the biggest fan of this happening. I think it hurts Arkansas in a lot of ways more than it helps. But one of the things you can say is that with Norman being as close as it is to Fayetteville and then also in Austin, you have a chance to play in some areas that for Texas kids, it's easy drives for their parents. And the good thing is Fayetteville's not too far away unless you're like in the San Antonio or Austin area. It's a decent haul, but I think that helps you and elevates you. But congratulations again to Oliver Miller, a part of the 2024 Southwest Conference Hall of Fame class. And JT and Hot Springs, I'm like you, man. I have no idea why it took this long. All right, back to some texts about Tony Vitello here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Devin Fort Smith said he went to bed last night angry and he woke up angry. Tony got it before Dave is unbelievable. Nate asked a question. Big C, you might have to look this up during the break. Are Arkansas and A&M the only SEC teams without a baseball championship? I don't know that off the top of my head, Devin, but that is something we can maybe find out during the break and relay that information to you. Ole Miss has got one. Mississippi State's got one. You've got LSU has multiple ones, we know. But we'll try and look that up during the break and see if we can give you an answer on that. There's some hot takes flying in on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. It's almost like we're in a Hot Take Monday. And Hot Take Monday is always brought to you by Wheels RV. Wheels RV doesn't just sponsor that. They help us with our programming all week long. And they can help you with the best Father's Day deals possible. And you say, Father's Day? Father's Day's already come and gone. Well, Chris and Lee J are like, we're doing these Father's Day specials all month long. So if your dad, your grandpa, your father figure in your life, if you think an RV would be something that they want, or maybe your dad listening, you're like, I want to give my kids, I want to give my grandkids an awesome experience. Wheels RV, Brinkley, Grand Design, Forest River. Let's make Father's Day not just week, but month the best one that they'll never forget. Visit us today at Wheels RV. Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered, next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call today. And good morning to this great fan base.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorback.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel Hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you. Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom.
Ben, who's called in from Saline County. Before we talk to Gentle Ben, I want to tell you about our friends at APAC Arcola. They've got job openings in the Boone, Marion, Baxter County, and Northwest Arkansas area. So if you're a licensed CDL driver, a heavy equipment operator, electrical, diesel mechanic, or you have any paving or concrete labor experience whatsoever, do this. If you're interested in a new job, do this. Jobs.crh.com. You can apply there. They offer top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Again, it's easy. Jobs.crh.com. That's where Tommy's brother Teddy has been working for quite some time. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. By the way, Tommy's on vacation this week. I know we've got some text in about that. I don't know where he is, to be perfectly honest. My guess it's somewhere around Sand, but hopefully him and his family enjoy that vacation, as we're going to enjoy a conversation with Gentle Ben on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. What's up, Gentle Ben?
Hey, man. It was a good game last night until I went to sleep, and I didn't even know who won until this morning. I had to call Google and find out who won the game. But it was really good and exciting, you know, the 3 games in a row and all that kind of stuff. And it just really made me think about our loss whenever all we had to do was catch the foul ball. Sorry, I can't get that out of my mind. And no telling how many years ago that happened, but I believe there's a little teaching that goes on every year about, you know, who calls who off and that kind of thing. Because I got my theory as to how the ball could have been caught and us win the national championship. But I just asked this. I've wondered what I don't even have an answer for this, but what is it that y'all think we've got to do in order to win it all down at City Hall sometime in the future? Or is there even an answer to that question? I know that's a question that's in my mind this morning.
Gentlemen, I think that's a fair question to ask. And I think it's, I don't know if disheartening is the right word, but it's not necessarily like I'm angry this morning. There are fans that are sad that they feel like a guy that's only been in Knoxville for 7 years versus Dave, who's been here since 2003, one's more deserving than other. What I learned early on in life from my father is life's not fair. And as an Arkansas Razorback fan, it hasn't been fair to you this last year. Think about what your football program, your basketball program, your baseball program did. That doesn't seem fair, as diehard of a fan as you are and this fan base is. In terms of the question, what does Arkansas have to do to get over that hump? Well, first, like you said, you figure out what you do in a foul ball situation. Second, you got to hit, man. And I brought this up. 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, Arkansas ranked outside the top 10 or worse in SEC batting average. That is not the equivalent to get you a national championship. I don't want to go in like a philosophical standpoint or like get into the nitty-gritty stuff, but the truth, the blunt, you got to hit better. You have to. And if whatever Dave and Nate Thompson elect to do moving forward, if they improve that area and they keep up their pitching, which has been very successful these last 3 or 4 years in that same time span, then they're going to have a chance. But if they continue to struggle in that area, then Arkansas is going to be a very good regular season team, a good postseason team, but not a great team like we witnessed last night in the Tennessee Volunteers. All right, let's bridge this conversation to our friend Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered host, owner, operator, sweeps the floors over there. Chris, you asked a relevant question last night. I mean, Tony Vitello's been to 3 of the last 4 College World Series. He just won his first national championship. Is this the best coach in college baseball right now?
Ty, first things first, man, appreciate you having me on. It's great to hear from you once again. And I would say yes right now. I did my preseason head coaching rankings just for fun in the SEC. Obviously, we do that every year for every sport. And so did that for the SEC. And I ranked Kevin O'Sullivan number 1 in those rankings, admittedly, because I just felt like when you looked at Sully's track record, and I think this year he made me look really smart towards the end of the season when he pushed that Gators team to the College World Series appearances. But 9-0 in his last 9 Super Regionals, tie, and I think the model of consistency he's built in Gainesville is really unrivaled. But, I mean, I also did mention this when I had made that list. I think I had Tony Vitello 5th at that point, Ty, and again, this was preseason of this year. If I were starting a program tomorrow, there's not a guy I would take other than Tony Vitello. I just think with the current climate of the game, I don't think there's a better coach for the current climate. I think with the way that he gets players, he's a player's coach. He embraces NIL. He embraces portal. And I love that, honestly, that, like, fiery side to him and the way that he backs his players. And I know it rubs some people the wrong way, but you want that guy on your side. I don't really want a guy that, everybody feels warm and fuzzy about, makes everybody feel good. Like, as long as he makes the guys in my clubhouse feel good and our fan base, and that's all I really care about. So I would say right now, Tony Vitello's earned that right to say he's the best coach in college baseball. Obviously, it's, you got to do it more than 1 year. But like you mentioned, man, when you look at what he's done and when you really put in perspective what he's done at a place like Tennessee, a place that they have 5 50-win seasons in their history, and he has 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, they have 1 national title. He has it. So, I mean, when you really think about what he's done, I think you can make a really fair argument. He is the best coach in college baseball right now.
And he was complimentary of Arkansas fans and their program last night. I was listening to his post-game press conference.
Yeah, even mentioned that Dave Van Horn. He even mentioned, I heard him say that in the post-game. He even mentioned the impact that Dave Van Horn had. So that I think he even mentioned that Dave Van Horn the best in the game. I mean, so he was extremely complimentary. I heard that as well of Arkansas's program, and he just said that he would not be in the position he was in, without Dave Van Horn, which I thought was really cool.
So, Chris, let's touch on that real quick, because Arkansas fans are asking themselves this morning, why not us? Why not us? You have a perspective I think is interesting with South Carolina, with them winning in 2010. I bet a lot of South Carolina fans felt that same way, being the SEC and the juggernaut that it is in baseball, and some success that other schools found in this league. Take us back to Columbia pre-2010, what that fan base felt, and then almost what changed when Ray Tanner was able to get over the hump, and how you maybe can draw some similarities to here in Fayetteville.
Yeah, Ty, what's funny is I would say there's a lot of similarities, because I'll never forget 2009, South Carolina was knocked out of I believe it was the Greenville Regional, at East Carolina, and they lost the game that knocked them out in like dramatic fashion. I think it was actually extra innings, and they got beat on a walk-off. And the program had always been really, really good, Ty, but they were sort of like Arkansas, had never won a national championship, obviously. And there were people that were really starting to second-guess and think that, hey, the game has passed Ray Tanner by, South Carolina needs to go a different direction. Like, I remember these conversations vividly happening, which this feels silly to say now, but people were really starting to question, okay, maybe Ray Tanner's lost his fastball. And I think that's the difficult thing, Ty, is like, you don't just need a great group of players, which equates to a great team, and then you need a great coaching staff. You just need to go on a magical run. I don't know how you tell a fan base, hey, guys, you got to kind of wait, hope, and pray that the baseball gods smile on you necessarily, because you need matchups to play out in your favor. I mean, guys, let's call it for what it is. I mean, Tennessee was the best team in college baseball this year. They earned that national championship.
Chris. They dominated.
They dominated. But they were also the beneficiaries of the fact that Texas A&M was shorthanded. Like, let's just call that for what it is, because I'm not saying it would have played out differently, but if Texas A&M would have had a healthy Braden Montgomery, who knows? That's all I'm saying. So it's just things like that need to play out in your favor and not against you. Obviously, in the short term, I think Arkansas's got to get the hitting situated. They got to get the hitting fixed, right? I think that's probably, when you look back at 2024, I think of the greatest shame for the Hogs is, we followed them, obviously, and covered them all season long. And, I mean, that pitching staff was as electric as any. I mean, their front line starting pitching would have gone up against anybody in college baseball. If they could have swung it like Tennessee, they would have won it all. I mean, they had the pitching top to bottom. So
they had,
you can get the hitting.
Chris, just to add to your point, they had the worst batting average of any tournament team. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, which is hard to believe, honestly. I mean, there's one thing to struggle hitting, but that's hard to believe for an Arkansas club. It really is. So, anyways, to your point, Ty, in 2010 for South Carolina, they added a couple big-time freshmen. They had a strong core of veteran leaders and veteran presence, but they added freshmen. They added a couple guys in the JUCO ranks, which kind of served as the transfer portal before the transfer portal, right? Added a couple key JUCO guys, and again, they had freshmen like Christian Walker step up. And then when they got to, Omaha, they weren't the number one overall national seed, but they had a guy like Michael Roth emerge, who became a hero in Columbia. Christian Walker, like I mentioned, with a couple clutch hits. Jackie Bradley Jr. had a couple, and they had to beat Clemson twice that year, and Omaha did. I mean, it's a mix of a bunch of different things, Ty. I mean, having a great team is just the start of it. You need to go on a run as well and catch fire. And so, I know you believe the same as I do, Ty. Arkansas is more than capable. It's just when, if will it ever happen.
God. Yeah, I hope so, man, because I honestly, I've been saying this for a while now, 64, 94, 2024. They won a football national championship in 64, basketball 94. I kind of thought they'd win a baseball one in 24. Maybe it'll be a year later. We'll have to.
So, Ty, basketball or baseball, who wins one first, just to turn it back on you?
That's a great question. I think you might
a lot of optimism with Cal.
Yeah, I think you might have to say basketball. And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm watching this game last night, and there's a moment for me that I will remember for the rest of my life when it comes to Arkansas athletics in recent memory. Arkansas has not beaten A&M but one time since they joined the Southeastern Conference, and that one time they beat them, Eric Musselman came down, Dave Van Horn came down, and there's a picture of Muss, Sam, and Dave Van Horn all together. That was, by the way, the same year that Muss took the team to the Elite Eight, first Elite Eight that Arkansas had since '95. The following postseason, Dave took the team to the College World Series, and it's that like bonded togetherness. I'm watching this last night. I see Rick Barnes up there. I see Payne Manning. I see Morgan Wallen. I see Josh Heupel. And I like Tennessee. We know has had a really good basketball program. They finally, I guess, made it to, if I remember right, at the Elite Eight this year. I know regular season Rick has been something he's been trying to get over. Josh Heupel, they finally beat Alabama, something Arkansas was never able to do against Nick Saban. And then the baseball program wins a natty. When you look at like what Arkansas is in athletics department with the baseball program, with Cal's basketball, with Pittman, I mean, what do you kind of envision for the three major sports looking at Arkansas athletics? Is there a cap for one of the sports specifically that maybe the other doesn't have?
I mean, Ty, admittedly, I would say probably football has more cap than any. Obviously, too, I think because we're at a place where Sam Pittman, we just don't know what the future looks like. You know what I mean? Dave Van Horn and John Calipari, Ty, it's very clear cut. Dave Van Horn in that program, we know what the expectation is. Although it's never happened, it's to get to Omaha and win a national championship. Like that's all they have left to do. And then, Ty, I don't think you hired John Calipari to just make the tournament. I think you hired him to compete for a Final Four and win a national championship, cut the nets down. Like, I think that's why you make that kind of move on that guy, and I think he's more than capable of building that in Fayetteville. So that brings us to Sam Pittman. And, I think that we're in a really interesting place right now because all the chatter going into 2024, it's not about championships or even competing for playoffs. It's about doing enough to bring yourself back in 2025 and to keep your job. So, when you talk about expectations for each of the programs, I think for Arkansas football, I think for the faithful there, it's not just to compete for bowl games and just go win 7 or 8 games. Like when Arkansas football is really humming, guys, I mean, I think Arkansas is a place where you can get to the college football playoff. I'm not going to say over the course of a decade more often than not, because I don't think that's giving credit to how hard it is, but I think it's possible. But
especially with the 12-team, Chris. And I feel the same way about South Carolina, too.
And we'll go to 14 teams as well in 2 years. So basically what I'm trying to say, though, Ty, is like I think that's a possibility. We just need to know. We need to know, okay, is Sam Pittman going to be the long-term answer or not? And if he's not, who is going to be? You know what I mean? Because that determines a lot of it. There's a reason they showed those head coaches on TV last night. When you got the right person leading the way, and I think Arkansas is a place when you got the right person leading the way, it can start to hum the way we know it can. And when it does that, like we mentioned, Arkansas can be a team that fights the 12-team playoff, 14-team playoff, fighting to get to 9-10 wins. And we're having kind of the same conversations about the Hogs that we're having about teams like, Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, some of these teams tied that in years past, we just been kind of talking about, okay, going to be a nice 8-4, 9-3 team. Maybe if things click, go 10-2. Now that conversation continues to, they're going to do all that and can make a playoff. So, but I think the other two sports, John Calipari and Dave Van Horn, I think winning the national championship should be the expectation. I mean, that's why you have those two guys in those two positions.
Chris, last thing before I let you go, you mentioned kind of where Sam Pittman is. I want your vantage point. You're in Gamecock country. I know that there's different thoughts on Shane Beamer. You go down south to Gainesville, Florida, and I think Billy Napier has the hottest seat in the Southeastern Conference. Kind of where do you, with those three guys, and maybe you could toss someone else in there, where are you kind of feeling up on Beamer, Pittman, and Napier as we let you go?
Yeah, Ty, I'd put Beamer number 3. I think the seat is warming. I don't think he's on a hot seat yet. I think there's real pressure to get back to a bowl game, but I think unless the wheels really fall off, aka 4-8 or worse, I think they're going to give him year 5. I think they're going to give him 2025. I think most folks have circled year 5 as the year, fairly or unfairly, where it's got to pop. I think a lot of Ty as well, how Shane Beamer's judged is what do they get out of the young quarterback Lenora Sellers. I think most of the fans have convinced themselves this guy is kind of the second coming. He is the answer. And so, if that kid, for whatever reason, doesn't live up to the hype or underperforms, I think a lot of fans are going to point at the coaching staff. They're not going to point at the player. And again, I think, Ty, you guys have probably felt that too. And all SEC fan bases have, where it's like, okay, it's up to you to get the most out of this kid. That's your job. So, but I think Shane Beamer's going to be back in 2025 again, barring a disaster. Billy Napier, Ty, is really interesting to me because I think they need to get to a bowl game too, but it's just, I wonder what the number's going to be to where they boot him out of Gainesville, because you do have DJ Lagway waiting in the wings, and I think you're going to have to make a really difficult decision on, okay, we're going to have to play the same schedule next year, but it's flipped, and do we really want to run the risk of running off Billy Napier and DJ Lagway hits the portal? Because I've heard people compare this kid to Lamar Jackson. Like, they think he's that good. So maybe do you ride it out a little bit longer? I mean, it's weird to think about Florida sitting to another 5-7 season and kind of just biding their time and letting a Lagway show if he's the real deal. But I think that's going to be a decision they have to make. And then that brings us to Sam Pittman, Ty. And, whose seat is hotter? I'd probably go Napier's, because I think Gator fans are less patient, right? Sam Pittman's built up a lot of goodwill early in his tenure there. But, Ty, when you look at that schedule, and you can look at it one of two ways. It's daunting. I mean, I think for Arkansas fans, they're probably tired of hearing about it because it's the same schedule that Arkansas plays every year. It's an SEC schedule. Nobody's got an easy one. But the home slate is something else. But there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, right, you play Tennessee, you play Ole Miss, you play Texas. I believe you've got LSU, if I recall correctly. Yep. I mean, you've got a bunch of big-time matchups on there where if you win one or two of those, Ty, those are going to be huge exclamation points on your season. But as we saw last year, there were home struggles, and I think there's been home struggles the last couple of years. It can go sideways in a hurry. That game against Oklahoma State week 2, I think, is really pivotal. Beating Texas A&M, Ty, you and I have had these conversations. That's one the fan base desperately wants to get, especially against a year 1 Mike Elko. So I think there's a path to 6 wins, maybe even 7 on that schedule. I think that's what Sam Pittman needs to do to show promise and show hope. And, I think if he can do that and the offense is high flying, Bobby Petrino's back in town, I think he can extend his stay in Fayetteville because there'll be some good vibes. But, I mean, Ty, I think it'll be the missed bowl game and there's going to be a change.
All right, Chris, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate your time this morning, and I'll see you next month at SEC Media Days.
Ty, yeah, going to be a blast in Dallas. Ty, appreciate the time, man, as always.
All right, good stuff from Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered. All right, time for a little trivia. CJ's Trivia Tuesday.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
It's delicious. There must be 50 customers out there. It's unbelievable.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All righty, folks. McLarty Daniel Hotline wide open for you. We mentioned Oliver Miller now being a part of the 2024 Southwest Conference Hall of Fame class. Congrats to the Big O. Hopefully we can get him on this week. He was a part of the largest NBA draft class in Razorback history in 1992. I think it's pretty easy to guess his other 2 counterparts that were drafted, but could you guess the 4th and final guy? Todd Day, Oliver Miller, Lee Mayberry. Who was the other player drafted in 1992 from the Arkansas Razorbacks? If you need a hint, I'll give it to you. McLarty Daniel Hotline wide open for a little CJ's Trivia Tuesday, 877-377-6963. You can win a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card, and we will answer that coming up. Again, I'm pumped for Big O. I'm pumped anytime that you can go back and talk about a stud in Arkansas basketball, football, or baseball, especially one that maybe y'all are more familiar with than I am. Again, I'm pretty familiar with Oliver Miller and watched his games and stuff, but it's pretty good. So we will again get to that coming up. 877-377-6963. 6963. Big C, who we got on the line?
JB and Rogers.
JB and Rogers, what is the answer to our trivia question, JB? Who is the final player? Not one of the three main guys, but who is that final player drafted round 2, 37th pick to the Miami Heat?
Well, thank you. I believe there's Lindsey Howell.
It's not Lindsey Howell. That's incorrect. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes to try and give it your best shot. McLarty Daniel Hotline open, 877-377-6963. Again, a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card is on the line this morning. Who we got, Big C?
Josh and Harrison.
Josh and Harrison. Josh, who is that player drafted round 2, 37th pick by the Miami Heat?
Isaiah Morris.
That is correct. Josh, you've got a CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card headed your way.
Stay on the line.
Yeah, stay on the line. Make sure we'll get your information. Isaiah Morris, a guy that is not as familiar. Again, it's Tate, Oliver Miller, and Lee Mayberry, but the biggest class that Arkansas's ever had. The reason I bring this up is because you should expect equivalents like this. That, like in 2023, you had Jordan Walsh, Nick Smith, and Anthony Black all drafted, right? That's the type of class, and this class, which again holds the record in 1992 for the most Arkansas players drafted. Now, you got the NBA draft going on tomorrow night and Thursday. First time it's a 2-night event. They're splitting it up and separating it. I'm curious how this goes for the NBA. You want to have an Arkansas player drafted, but Cason Walls was drafted the year before to my Oklahoma City Thunder. Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham, Antonio Reeves, Justin Edwards, 4 of the guys that likely are going to be drafted in these next 2 nights. John Calipari's name, again, front center. Nothing but good things for your basketball program. And nothing but good things at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, where all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And let me tell you, they are at CJ's. The burgers are awesome. The fries, awesome. Get that fry sauce when you stop in either the Russellville or Fayetteville location. And to stop by and see Keith and his team, again, off Weddington. You can go through the drive-thru. You can order it online. You can order through the app. You can eat it there and take it to go. And the Russellville location, when you stop by and see Keith and Sally, the dine-in and the takeout is also available. Whenever I'm going to Little Rock, Nashville, Memphis, I always make a pit stop at the original CJ's in Russellville, and whenever I'm up in Northwest Arkansas, whether it's for a meeting, whether it's for a game, I'm stopping in at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Now, our buddy Keith Wilson, excited about football season, excited about Cal, and hoping baseball has a good upcoming season as well, as far as that is away. All right, hour 2 coming up. How did Texas make it about themselves this week? I'll tell you, coming up.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move, and look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
This is the Morning Rush.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunshine, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Our high temperatures today right around 95. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 70s, and then a 50-50 chance of showers and storms Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday, upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days.
For the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball. They are the World Series champions.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Oh, man. That's not pleasant to hear, is it? Tennessee is the national champion. And to make matters worse, to really tick you off, like you just want to hate this guy, right? You just want to hate Tony Vitello. Or maybe it's just me, but based on the text and calls were received on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, it's not just me. Listen to what he credited and helped get him to this point last night.
I did it as an assistant at Arkansas, and because Coach Van Horn gave me that opportunity and also helped lead me along the way. I mean, the one thing I'd like to say, and I think some of them appreciate I hustled around down there, and most of them hate me, which is fine. But what they need to realize is their program definitely had a hand in what happened tonight. There's no question about that. So I'm thankful for my personal opportunity. But guys like Xander and Dylan are benefactors of who I think is the best coach in the country. And Coach Van Horn is who I'm talking about.
That's who he's talking about. So of all things that you just want to hate this guy, he took a national championship, got one before you did. Now, he didn't go through you like Mike Bianco did a couple years ago, but he says that. It's like good gravy, man. I understand why people like this guy. He's got a fire. If he's on your team, you love him. But I got news for you. He's not leaving Knoxville now. And I know some Texas fans believe that he's going to take the Texas job. He's not taking it after last night. He's not taking it after they've got, what are they saying, $100 million into Lindsey Nelson. They've been to 5 straight tournaments, 3 of the last 4 College World Series. He's not leaving Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, there were fireworks last night after Tennessee won. Now, I'd like to see some red fireworks after Arkansas wins, but we're going to have to at least wait another year, maybe years. Maybe it never happens in my lifetime. Who knows? But if you want to see fireworks, if you don't want to have to wait till next 4th of July, and you want to see them this 4th of July, this weekend, next week, whatever the case may be, Chris Brewer and USA Fireworks have you covered. Chris actually texted me yesterday. There was I think a city group that ended up buying a fireworks show, a big old fireworks show. And again, for all the city council members out there, the church group leaders, any organization of any kind, you're always trying to save a buck, right? Save money. Well, then go to usafireworks.org, ask about wholesale. They've got a big wholesale tab on their website, and you're going to get wholesale prices for your fireworks show. That will save you a ton, hundreds of dollars in some cases, depending on how much you're spending. Again, usafireworks.org. And if you're just listening and you want a chance to give your family, give your friends the best fireworks show they've ever had, the best experience, go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a $2,000 fireworks show from Chris and his team at USA Fireworks. Again, it's the 2nd annual USA Fireworks Bang-In Giveaway. Thanks to our friends at USA Fireworks and online at hitthatline.com. So you just heard Tennessee Volunteers. They win the national championship, right? Somehow, the Texas Longhorns wanted to make it about them. And listen, I'm not one of those guys that was happy when the final strikeout occurred last night in Omaha, Nebraska. I wasn't going to be ecstatic if it went the other way and A&M and Jim Schlossnagle won it. But Texas basically puts out that David Pierce has been let go the day of the national championship game. You remember how Cal was like, hey, I don't want this getting out prior to the national championship or the eve or the day of the national championship game, him going to Arkansas. Because it was about them. It was about the Connecticut Huskies and the Purdue Boilermakers. It was about Matt Painter and Dan Hurley. It gets out, and I don't think he was too happy about that. And understandably so, because, let's be honest, it was the bigger story. Even with Dan Hurley winning back-to-back, the biggest story in college basketball that week was John Calipari coming here to Fayetteville, Arkansas. And Texas, while it's a big story, and they have a storied program. And sometimes you don't want to admit it, but their baseball program has had a lot of success. Not as much lately, but over the years. They let go of David Pierce, and now Chris Delicante, their athletics director, is he's in the market for a baseball coach. And some people think it's going to be Jim Schlossnagle, who had success at TCU, who I think was there when Chris Delicante was there, if I remember correctly, as was Tony Vitello, the 2 national championship coaches last night that were trying to win one. Tony won his first. We'll see if Jim gets a point. Jim Schlossnagle is a great baseball coach. I mean, what they did in Fort Worth, then he goes to College Station, similar type of success. Really, really good baseball coach. But again, this is the most Texas-y. Let me tell you something. So I would identify my father and my uncle as 2 of the godliest men I've ever known. Never seen them drunk. I think I've never heard my uncle curse. I think I've heard my dad curse like twice in his entire life. Might even be once, to be honest. Like, they're just like rock solid human dudes. Now, their nephew and son probably need some help to a certain extent. But the reason I bring them up is because the only time I actually see them get angry is when you mention Texas. Both Baylor alums, Southwest Conference days, and just the arrogance that accompanies that athletics department and that program. If you're Delicante, how do you let this get out? Oh, wait. He wanted this to get out. I remember watching him and Joe Castiglione, the OU athletics director, talking with Paul Feinbaum, if I could say it, Paul Feinbaum at the SEC spring meetings. And Castiglione, when they're bringing up the rivalry, he's like, yeah, it's a really good rivalry. And then Chris Delicante, like, basically, he's not small, but he's got small man syndrome. Classic Texas guy. We have the best rivalry in the SEC. It's like, you haven't even entered the league just yet. But that's Texas in a nutshell. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever that they tried to make it about them last night. Drives me nuts. And again, I hate the folks in College Station probably more than any other fan base in the country. But there is no greater ego on this planet than the people in Austin, Texas, and that choose to wear that hideous burnt orange. In addition to being mad at Texas about that, trying to steal the spotlight from college baseball last night, they also, by the way, the Longhorn Network is going to be rebranded to a free streaming platform next week. Why would we not make this the SEC Network too? It's just got that box running over and over again. Why would you not turn that something into the SEC Network too? I don't know, but I just saw that. It's from the Sports Business Journal, and that also ticked me off. As well as Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, and Texas all winning national championships back to back to back. I forget who won it in 2019. 2017, I believe, went to the Florida Gators. But if not for what happened in 2018, it would have been consecutive SEC. I think it was Vanderbilt. I guess it was. That was the timeline lines up on that. It stinks. I get it. I completely understand it. But that's where we are right now. McLarty did a hotline wide open. Our buddy Bruce Stan of Pradco Fishing, Tennessee fan. I know he's going to be happy to talk with us coming up. He's going to join us, I think, in studio, all decked out in Vols gear, if I had to guess. Well, listen, I'm angry about what happened. Maybe I did something stupid last night. Maybe I broke some property or damaged something, did something. I might need a good lawyer. Luckily, I have Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull on retainer. They're firm, not just in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, but also Mena and Central Arkansas as well. Expanding their firm and expanding their reach all over Arkansas. So if you need help with anything, give them a call, 479-434-2414. They have decades of combined experience. And again, divorce, custody cases, an attorney that can guide you through the process. Hickey and Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better. Bruce Stanton coming up.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
How about old Bart Bielema? I mean, RPI stands for real pizza intake on him.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye! Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
The name Newmeyer means something in the River Valley. Rib Room and Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. But have you been to their new establishment, the Whippoorwill? Unbelievable Southern food right across the street from Papa's. Southern cooking at its finest, like burgers, chicken fried steak, Mimi's meatloaf, fried green tomatoes, and more. Go to whippoorwillrestaurant.com to check out their menu and daily specials. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, Bruce Daniels here, Pradco Fishing. We've got some Tennessee stuff to talk about, College World Series, Tony Vitello, and other things to get to. Also want to mention off the top, congratulations to Oliver Miller, the Big O, part of the 2024 Southwest Conference Hall of Fame class. We'll talk about his accomplishment coming up. We have plenty of time to discuss the Tennessee stuff, but it's National Catfish Day. I had catfish this weekend. I know that each of us have our specific types, the way to eat it. You got grilled, you got fried, you got blackened. I'm a blackened guy, Big C and Bruce. What is your, on National Catfish Day, what is the proper way to eat catfish? I should say catfish, is it atchafalaya with the etouffee on top? That's the proper way to eat it. Put that blackened. That's the way to go.
There's only one way to go. You got to deep fry it, have some hush puppies, some barbecue beans. That's catfish.
That's the way to go. Big C, you're also on the fried camp, it sounds like.
I'm on that train.
Okay. I like again, when you cover that sucker in crawfish etouffee, I feel like I'm eating healthier with it being blackened. As I just ate fried stuff for the majority of my life, and I still love it. Like, I'll eat anything fried, but blackened might be my new favorite air quotes, healthy thing.
Do you blacken it, or do you have someone do it for you?
No, restaurant. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm with this supposed knock on wood. It's not done yet, but this house I'm hopefully going to get. That is something I'd like to learn how to do.
Now, I will say catfish. I mean, you can get farm-raised catfish. It's nice and clean.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like eating non-Gulf shrimp. Gulf shrimp, I mean, you've had every toilet in the United States go down the Gulf of Mexico. There's a flavor to that Gulf shrimp. It's like Arkansas River catfish. I mean, get out here below Lock and Dam 13, do a little drifting, get you a thill float, put some bait under it, catch you some channel cats, go back and clean them. That's flavor right there. Deep fry that stuff. That's the best.
Man, you're making my mouth water this morning. It's National Catfish Day. Hopefully you partake in this wonderful holiday, whether you're in Arkansas or outside of it. Blackened, grilled, fried. Again, catfish atchafalaya is my favorite little crawfish etouffee on top. And that is your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com. All right, let's get this over with. I had a feeling, based on the way Tennessee had been playing, that I might have to play this song when you came in at some point. National champions as of last night. Help me on that pitcher's name, that lefty that started for you guys.
Xander Sechrist.
Yeah, he was a dog last night. One of the things you and I were talking about during the commercial that I brought up in hour number 1 is there's that picture that sticks in my crawl of Sam Pittman, Dave Van Horn, and at the time Eric Musselman, who of course is no longer here, after Sam and the guys finally beat A&M in 2021. And it's like a look of togetherness. Last night, Josh Heupel, Tony Vitello, Rick Barnes, heck, Peyton Manning and Morgan Wall were there too, but Tennessee athletics, I hate saying this, seems to be on the right track right now, and Arkansas's kind of going in the opposite direction, unfortunately.
You like seeing that togetherness. You like see Barnes and Heupel wearing that black jersey like the Tennessee players were winning last night. And, you like the genuineness of the hugs after the game, Heupel coming over and giving him a big bear hug and picking Vitello up, and then Vitello insisting they get the picture before they break up. He wanted that moment with the other two coaches, and it's just good to see. I noticed Morgan kind of slipped in and out a little bit. I don't know. He might have had to go to the restroom, but it was cool to see Peyton there. That was a special night.
Yeah, I want to clip that. Here's Manning, what he had to say about Tony Vitello.
Awesome night, special night. Proud of Tony, proud of this program. We've been knocking on the door these past several years, and we've had our hearts broken. Tony has, all these players have, and all the volunteer nation has bled with them. But we got over the hump tonight and did it, and it kind of makes all those heartaches worth it.
To bring this back to Arkansas, to Fayetteville, and to our baseball program, and I want your perspective on this. We've gotten plenty more of them already this morning. If you want to send them in, you're more than welcome. You can jump in with Bruce, myself, and Big C as well. Did last night give you encouragement that Arkansas is closer because another SEC program knocked down the barrier, or does it just make it that much more difficult? I know NIL has changed things. I don't know how flush that Tennessee is with cash. I would expect after last night stroking checks ain't going to be a big deal for their athletics director, Danny White, or at least getting people to. But I wonder your vantage point of if it makes it more difficult for Arkansas to get that elusive national title.
Well, I'll say this. Over the last decade, no one's backing it up with a back-to-back natty. So you had this string of SEC teams going back to Vanderbilt, and then obviously, like you said, if we wouldn't have had the mess up out in the outfield, you've had every SEC national champion since 2017 from the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So no one is putting together a dominant streak of winning championships. So, from that perspective, if Arkansas, the portal works out, you get some bats in there, you get some power in there, and you maintain the pitching staff, and you got a excellent coach and excellent fan base. Yeah, why couldn't you? Because everyone seems to be rotating that natty and playing for the natty. Arkansas just needs to get in that queue somehow. And then you get the breaks. You just get the right matchups. And, this has been coming for Tennessee. It's 2 out of the last 3 tournaments. They're the number 1 seed. I actually think the team that lost in the Super Regional to Notre Dame was a more impressive team.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, Jordan Beck. I mean, that team was amazing. But you had 5 guys with over 20 homers, and, everybody's talking about Texas A&M's pitching, and rightfully so. I mean, Chris Cortez, if that sucker didn't get, a little cramp, he had 100 pitches. It was 100 degrees, but man, Tennessee couldn't hit him. Mm-hmm. But the moment he got out of the game, that opened up a little window. Aschenbeck, I think, just had to throw so many innings. Good hitting finally broke down good pitching, and he gave up three runs, and that was the difference in the game. It wasn't all the other people. It was their ace that gave up those 3 runs that got them beat.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, what you said, yeah, Arkansas is in the queue. Just can they get the bats going? Because you've said it, they rank at the bottom of the SEC in hitting. You got to hit.
Last 4 years, 10 or worse in the SEC in batting average. They're the worst batting average of any tournament team this year. Now, J.R. Lowell, he's negative this morning, texting on the McLarty Dana hotline, said, hell no, Tennessee went and did not give me hope. Makes me feel like we're in a Georgia Mark Richt situation.
That's a bad place to be.
And he loves Dave Van Horn. And there were a lot of Georgia fans who are like, why are we firing this guy? And again, I want to be clear about that. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that Arkansas would be right to let Dave Van Horn go. I want to be, again, I don't want people to tie in or put words in my mouth or anything. But I do feel like last night, based on the feedback we've got in the first hour and a half this morning, maybe it will subside. Maybe we'll get more text throughout the week that give us a better glimpse. But I feel like it's more negative skewed to how they feel about where this program is. I'm still of the belief that, like, if Tennessee can do it, which you guys have had tournaments, Burke was a Tennessee guy, or Chris Burke's a Tennessee. I mean, it's not like they haven't had players. And while Tony has taken them to 3 of the last 4, they've had tournament success before. It just hasn't been this concentrated. Arkansas has had a highly amount of concentrated success when you think about 2018, 2019, and 2022 being College World Series appearances. It's just it's a bummer the last 2 seasons have been early exits, especially in your home ballpark in the regional.
One thing I like, Vitello, and Tommy feels different about this when he's in here, but Vitello places a premium, kind of like Calipari, on the conference tournament. Winning tournaments, winning regular season championships, building that winning culture is important for Vitello, just like winning regular seasons and conference tournaments is important to anyone at Kentucky in basketball. I think, you got to get in this frame that we're going to win. We're going to go on these runs. It builds winning. You think you're supposed to win when you win. Look at Greenwood football. I mean, look at Northside Lady Bears basketball. I mean, winning begats winning. And at some point, you got to place a premium on some of these postseason tournaments and not just say winning 1 or 2 games is good enough, and then we'll go turn it on at the regional and super regional, because I don't think it happens that way.
Can't think about Kentucky basketball, which treats the SEC tournament. It's the Kentucky Invitational. You know that from being there many a times. I mean, that is, while we make fun of Kentucky, and be honest, full disclosure, I made fun of Cal for not having any tournament success really the last 5 years. There was a premium on winning that tournament. Now, the SEC basketball is more spread out than it used to be, and I'd argue SEC baseball is, because of the last 4 national champions. The fact that it hasn't been, like you said, a repeat. I think South Carolina was last repeat in 2010, 2011 with Ray Tanner. Florida got back there after 2017, but they lost.
Vanderbilt made back them and Virginia split, and then he won like 2 and 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Corbin did.
Yeah. So it's very spread out right now, which is a benefit for, again, not just Greg saying the Southeastern Conference. And you now think about Oklahoma and Texas, which muddies the water even more in baseball. More Texas than Oklahoma, but got to remember, Oklahoma was in the College World Series Finals 2 years ago, and they had a solid ball club this year. That's not a program that should be taken lightly when it comes to this sport either in baseball.
No, I mean, yeah, it just got tougher with Texas and Oklahoma, but, someone's going to win every year. Someone's going to figure it out. And, Arkansas's just got to figure out a way to make that happen.
Couple more texts on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Bruce Emmett from Springdale probably can't chat who's your daddy at Tony Vitello anymore, since he's the one with the national championship and Arkansas does not have one. Justin from Fayetteville, this is just another example why Hogs fans suck, wanting to fire a winning coach because we didn't win a national championship this past season. Haven't really gotten a text about that, Justin. I don't think we will throughout the morning. But I get where they're coming from, the frustration, because you see a guy, like, listen to this. Like, I'm listening to Tony Vitello say this last night.
It's a lot of years of trying different things, including being as a player. So I'm so fortunate to be a part of it and happy.
He's been there since 2017. He's 45 years old.
He's talking about his personal career, playing and being an assistant at Missouri, being an assistant at TCU in Arkansas. I think he's just talking about his personal journey of what he's done to get here. Yeah, he's only been at Tennessee a few years. But O'Connell was only at Florida a few years. Corbin was only at Vanderbilt a few years when they got plucked out of Clemson. I mean, there's some great assistants out there, and some of these athletic directors are figuring that out.
Isn't that wild that those two assistants, because the Clemson head coach, whose names I forgot, both those guys won national championships. That guy had a lot of success, but I don't think ever won one, if I remember that right. So it's funny how that happens sometimes. Hopefully that's not a situation with Dave Van Horn here. One of the things I also took away from last night, again, to bring this back to what's going to happen in Fayetteville down the road at some point, whenever Dave does decide to hang it up, Tony's not leaving Knoxville.
He's not going anywhere.
And, there was a thought, I think, by many a Razorback fan that believed, all right, once Dave left once he left the sport, Tony's going to come into Fayetteville. $100 million renovation last night, seemingly having the support. Again, that's not, wouldn't say a tradition-rich baseball school. There's been baseball success. You know more than I. But last night, sealed the deal. If Texas doesn't get Schlossnagle, I have no idea who they're going to get, because it's not going to be Tony Vitello that's going to be in the other burner.
They're going to restructure his contract. He's going to be paid $2 million a year plus. His after party had Peyton Manning and Morgan Wallen strumming a guitar. I mean, there's no one else that's going to be able to offer him what Tennessee's going to be able to pay him. And, he's got Kavares Tears coming back. I mean, he's got a lot of players coming back. He's going to work the portal like he did this year. Mm-hmm. He's not going anywhere.
So what did you think about the news of Texas, again, putting it out there that they had letting it be known, when Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball gets something, it's pretty rock solid. So he gets that, and I thought it was just why are you doing this? I know why Texas is doing this, because it's the most egotistical, not just fan base, but athletics department in the country. You've got the national championship of your sport, and you're trying to put news out there that outdoes the biggest moment in your sport each and every year. Yeah. And now it's
I mean, if this was the Cliff Gustafson or Augie Garrido days, it might have registered, but it's irrelevant right now. They're not important in college baseball. They're trying to generate news. We're sitting here talking about it in Arkansas, but it's a non-newsmaker.
Well, Schlossnagle got asked about it. I don't know if you've heard his response last night. It's pretty fiery. Take a listen to this.
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you, but I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
That's awesome.
He was pretty strong towards that question last night. Again, if you haven't heard the news, there's been plenty of a rumor mill, and you know what they say about rumors, but that Jim Schlossnagle or Tony Vitello would be the next Texas head coach. Not again, like you hadn't seen one of the big baseball guys come out and say it, but it's definitely something that people have been keeping an eye on. And then when asked about it, that was his final question and left the press conference.
You got beat reporters. I mean, everybody knows how this works. You used to have newsrooms and big newspapers. Like in Austin, they had the American Statesman. Dallas, you had the Morning News. You know, and the beat writers would be told, okay, we got a coach opening. Go give me the top 5 candidates. So, you know, you're a reporter, you're going and doing your job, and you write names. Okay, who's the best coaches in college baseball? Well, there's 2 of them right there because they're playing for the national championship. So, you know, a lot of that's just pure speculation. Nobody's talking to anybody. You know, there's no Woj in college baseball like there is in the NBA. So, you know, these guys are just doing their job and, you know, giving us stuff to talk about, giving you stuff to think about. I don't know how often that stuff's right. I'd say most of the time it's wrong.
Yeah, and again, to go back to what you're saying about that, I'm curious what ends up happening to that job because, again, with Texas and Oklahoma joining the league, seems like Texas would try to swing for the fences with their baseball program. We'll see if they're able to make contact with that moving forward.
Well, maybe, Ty, they should do what some of these other schools have done and hire a really good assistant, and they might win a national championship because it seems to be working for some of these SEC schools.
Yeah, it's definitely paid off for some of them, particularly the one that we just saw win last night. Bruce, we're 66 days out from Razorback football. I know that there's excitement also in Knoxville with Nico and what that offense looks like. I'm watching Josh Heupel and Rick Barnes and company. I wonder when you think about this upcoming SEC season with the first games with Texas and Oklahoma being featured, what should Arkansas fans' expectations be with Sam Pittman this year? Because I'm just of the belief they need to make a bowl game. And maybe that's too low of an expectations. I feel pretty strongly about that. That would show progress to go from 4 wins to 6 wins to not, like, they competed so hard on the road last year, but just got obliterated at home by a bunch of teams. That's kind of, where are you kind of falling in 66 days out before Arkansas suits up and plays their first game?
I mean, the good news, you don't have Georgia or Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 losses, 2 automatic losses you're not going to have on your schedule. I think you just kind of pump the brakes and you don't get over enthusiastic. You know, you're not going to go 12-0. You're probably not going to go 11-1, but can you beat a Tennessee at home? Can you steal a game that maybe you're not supposed to win? And can you go 8-4 or 9-3 and be on the fringe of that 12-team playoff and be, I guess, in the conversation heading into November? Can you win enough games early, not choke in any of your non-conference games? Like you got to win the Oklahoma State game to be relevant. Otherwise, yeah, you're playing for 6-6 or 7-5. That's a big game for both those teams because Oklahoma State's under a lot of pressure. They think they're going to win the Big 12 because everybody else, the power teams are gone. So they're going to feel pressure to win that game. Arkansas is going to feel pressure. Well, we got to win this game to get those 4 non-conference wins. So, you know, winning early, you'll have a chance. You lose that game, then you're under pressure.
A 7th-year quarter. I asked about him yesterday. His name's escaped me. They got like a 7-year quarterback with the best running back in college football.
They do have the best running back.
All their offensive line back, pretty much all their pass.
And you're playing in Stillwater.
Yeah, but Oklahoma State's not good at early in the year, which I guess is the only positive thing you can pull out of that game.
I guess the biggest question is, what will Gundy's hair look like this game? Is it going to be a mullet? Is he going to shave it off? I mean, it's always puzzling.
We were talking with Chuck about this last week, and he made a good point. I didn't think about this aspect. He always brings up things that I don't necessarily think about. I thought Oklahoma State might be the biggest program to benefit of almost any team in the country based on conference realignment, because the 2 power brokers in that league, Oklahoma and Texas, have now left, and they're part. But he brings up like that's 2 less like regional schools that you can get Texas or Oklahoma kids to recruit because they will play another game in Norman, another game at that. For a team like Utah, for example, that has recruited a lot of California schools and out west, and then Hawaii and stuff, that the recruiting aspect is going to be so fun to watch these next few years. The negative recruiting towards USC, who's a prominent school, but they'll have to travel all over the place to the Big Ten. SEC schools really aren't affected. You can't really recruit negatively on travel in the Southeastern Conference because Texas and Oklahoma are, while they're not all the way regional, it's not too far away.
I mean, it's not that much of a difference from Gainesville to Fayetteville as it is from Gainesville to Norman or Gainesville to Austin. I mean, that's with air. I mean, everybody takes airplanes now, so it was an extra 15 minutes in the air. So that doesn't mean anything. I agree with you, especially this year on Oklahoma State with the team they have coming back. If they don't go undefeated or just lose one game on their schedule, I think if they do any worse than that, it'll be a disappointment because they had this opportunity to make the playoff, win the Big 12. Long term, I think it's going to be tough because coaches are going to negatively recruit. 5-stars aren't going to want to go to the Big 12.
Yeah.
5-stars are going SEC, Big 10. That's the only place they're going, So that's the problem with the Big 12. It's going to be probably pretty good this year, and then as we go through these recruiting classes, they're probably going to be a notch below where a good SEC or a good Big 10 team is going to be going forward.
66 days out till Razorback football, and then we've got basically 68 days out till the first college football Saturday of the season. Don't have to worry about watching the Razorbacks on that day. Hopefully they blow out UAPB on Thursday night, and then you got a full day to sit on that lazy boy or the couch or whatever you make haven on those college football Saturdays. Now, Bruce, you were talking about specifically catching catfish earlier. It's June right now. It's great fishing season. What's going on with Pradco, and what do our listeners need to be aware of right now?
Topwater's the deal right now. You get on these highland reservoirs like Beaver, Table Rock, 10 Killer, Broken Bow, Washita. Hit the main lake points with topwater baits early in the morning. I like getting out there at 5:30. Throw a Booyah Boss Pop, Rebel Pop R, Head and Super Spook Jr., Head and Boyo, and make long casts on these main lake points, especially when they're pulling water. These fish will line up, and especially early in the morning, you can catch some really nice fish on topwater. We have a new bait called a Great Lakes Finesse Sneaky Underspin. It's an underspin bait. We put a Great Lakes Finesse drop minnow on it, and when these spotted bass school like they do on all these lakes, it's something real small to throw in there with a light line, like 6 or 8 pound test on a spinning rod. You're giving them something they've never seen, and we're catching a lot of spotted bass doing that. So topwater, little underspin, and you can always throw a jig head worm like a yum thumping dinger, and June bug works on pretty much any lake around here. And then, water skiers get out there, jet skiers get out there about 9:30, and, it's time to go eat breakfast. So
got a lot of stuff going on, man.
I know. I will say last night, my son Cole, who is 27, last time we won a national championship in his lifetime, exactly, Dr. Cole, Last Eye Clinic, he was 2 years old, so he didn't remember Tennessee winning the Natty. So last night, we're jumping up and down, doing man hugs, and that's something we'll always take. And then his daughter, Joy, is 10 months old. We got her dressed up in Tennessee stuff, trying to convince her to be a Vol fan.
It's going to be a battle. Mom's side is Arkansas fans. Dad's side's Vols fans. We'll see who wins out in the next 16 or so years on where they go to college. Bruce, good to see you, brother.
See you, man.
All right, we got our hog update coming up. Stay with us on The Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
This is The Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, your dad's side's starting to go viral.
Hey, what, is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479-STADIUM or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baumwalker Stadium in Fayetteville. Or if you need to, you can shop us online at them web things.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, and we need your trade. This month, the trade-in acquisition event continues with up to 27% bonus cash on your trade on any one of our road-ready certified used cars with warranty. You can't buy a better used car, and you can't pick a better time than right now. Up to 27% bonus cash for your trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
USA Fireworks is a leading firework wholesaler in Arkansas with over 35 years of experience. Located in Mulberry, right off 64. They offer an impressive selection of top-of-the-line products from the best brands like World Class, Brothers, Window, Raccoon, Cutting Edge, and Black Cat, ensuring a spectacular display for every occasion. Whether it's a big city event or just a family gathering, USA Fireworks is dedicated to delivering the best show at the best value. If you're interested in buying a wholesale fireworks show, visit our website, usafireworks.org.
Hot summer soon gives way to fall hunting season, and with the new Arkansas Early Bow Hunt, now is the time to get your new Hoyt Alpha X or the Carbon RX-8 dialed in. Check out the new Lift compounds from Matthews, the bow that puts aluminum in a new light. Sub 4 pounds and shooting 348 feet per second. Jelco Outdoors, your full-line archery store in the River Valley. Get ready for fall bow hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
I'll give Bruce credit. I was curious what kind of approach you take with us this morning. Did not necessarily follow his team's approach with the over-top, braggadocious style. He's very concrete, very straightforward. Had a Tennessee polo on, but appreciate him joining us as always. All right, Hog Update time. Apparently, Cal's found himself a house. A little bigger than mine, just a a little bit, which is kind of funny. Apparently, it's near Musselman's house as well. But Fayetteville Flyer, I guess, had this report. Sounds like his house in Lexington is still up for sale. But I was just looking at this. It's like you're getting like the same house in Fayetteville versus the same house in Lexington. It's like $1.7 million cheaper, or 1.6. I don't think people understand. And I know the Northwest Arkansas people, you listen in Northwest Arkansas this morning would tell you, well, the prices are going through the roof. But still relative to other big cities, not just the SEC footprint, but other places, it is wild what you can get. And Northwest Arkansas continues to grow, and hopefully it continues to grow because I think that only helps your athletics department, the state, and Arkansas as a campus and a college overall moving forward. Hagen Smith wins another award. Drink. He wins the American Baseball Coaches Association's, a mouthful, Rawlings National Pitcher of the Year. It's his third Pitcher of the Year this season. He's a 4-time All-American, and he's a guy that you really like. We had Jonathan Papelbon on yesterday, and the former World Series champ has watched a lot of Hagen this season. Here's what he had to say specifically about the lefty from Arkansas. Where'd it go?
I've watched the Hagen kid pitch quite a bunch, actually. And obviously he has the big league caliber stuff. There's no question about it. But as far as being a lefty, he goes out there, he controls the game. And when you look at a young kid, for him to be able to go out there and control the game, what I mean by control the game is the pace is on him. Everything about the game that he pitches in is based upon what he does. Yeah, he's a fun kid to watch.
He is a fun kid to watch. And, again, that's a guy that knows what it takes to not just pitch in the Southeastern Conference, but also in the major leagues. And I misspoke yesterday. I think him and Nick Schmidt just missed each other, but he was a part of some good Mississippi State teams back in the day. And also, in addition to having compliments for Hagen Smith, also said the good things about Bob Walker Stadium.
Obviously, the fans, they're being loud, but it was very comparable to Dudy Noble Field and going to play at the Dude, you know. So I always thrived in those type of atmospheres. So Arkansas was awesome to play at, man. Bob Walker Stadium goes off.
Bob Walker Stadium goes off. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while till February until it goes off again. Last baseball note for you this morning. Arkansas got another baseball commitment. Landon Bicheldes. I mean, I should just call him Landon B. Some of these guys, I have to listen to like what Phil says or Chuck says. I listened to like an interview or something. I still butcher it, but here's what you need to know about him outside of me not knowing how to pronounce his last name. He's a top 5 portal guy at virtually every service. He was a starting pitcher for Ohio State last year, had a good ERA, 15 starts, and was a guy that was highly coveted. And he's coming to Fayetteville, or at least he's committed right now. Not signed, I don't think, just yet. So hopefully he lands in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and he's a guy that has an impact on this team this next season. Last thing here in your Hog update, probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. The Big O, Oliver Miller, 2024 Southwest Conference Hall of Fame class. Man, oh man, it was fun to watch him play.
Running here from Fort Worth, Texas, number 25, Oliver Miller. Well, Arkansas get ready to for board, and the basket goes down. Miller's the basket will count. Well, that turned the crowd on. Oh, hey, inside the Miller, the Big O. Wow.
The Big O. Again, a guy that had a huge impact for Nolan Richardson and his kind of first few years of Arkansas basketball. Think about this. All right. So you got Ron Brewer, Darrell Walker, Marvin Delph, Todd Day, others that are part of the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. I don't know why it took 32 years, Southwest Conference, but finally going to be inducted Tuesday, August the 13th. He's your all-time leader in field goal percentage, like 64%, block shots. He's top 10 in points, top 5 in rebounds, Southwest Conference Coaches Player of the Year. He's just a dude. Drafted 92, along with our trivia question earlier, Isaiah Morris, Todd Day, and Lee Mayberry. And he's already a part of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor and Southwest Conference Legends class. So congratulations to Oliver. Knock on wood, we get him on this week. I'd love to talk to Big O. Never done it before. He's a guy that I would definitely like some insight from on back in the day, and then also his thoughts on John Calipari. All right, that is your Hog Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, let's talk to Brian, who's in Ozark this morning on the McLarty. Oh, is he hung up? Okay. Brian has called in once or twice this morning. Guess he just hung up. I don't know if he wanted to talk Texas. That would be my guess if I had to pick one conversation that he started with. All right, again, congratulations to Oliver Miller and that class and the upcoming class he just had. Coming up, we're going to talk with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. We've also got our Lindsay and Associates Pro Hog Update, pro baseball stuff, some football to look forward to as well. Speaking of football, I referenced our Jonathan Papelbon interview that we had yesterday. We also had on Eric Galco, who heads up the East-West Shrine Bowl, seniors, kind of like the Senior Bowl, that type of thing. And he was pretty honest about Arkansas's offense, and in particular, if I wanted to hone in on something specific, what you have in the pass catchers, and Luke Haas, and Isaac Tesla, and Isaiah Satania, and probably my favorite of the group, not outside of Luke, is Andrew Armstrong. Think about 93% of your returning production from that unit. It's a pretty big deal. And Eric Galco, he noticed that.
Armstrong and Tesla especially are two guys that I'm excited about to see again, just because they were transfers a year ago, and I think we kind of underestimate sometimes those small school to FBS transfers. Maybe takes a year to kind of get settled. So if the receiver room is deep, I'm excited to see who kind of steps up there. But you're right in that he's going to have a lot of weapons to throw to, and I think he'll get a chance to kind of figure out who he works best with in this offseason. Coach Petrino and that offense will figure out, hey, who are the best core to put around him consistently too. But then you add in the fact that they've got a good running game still, and Jaquin and Jackson coming in from Utah is extremely talented and has out of the backfield potential. They've added 3 reinforcements on the offensive line, including Carmona at left tackle, who has a chance to be an NFL player as well too. So they've really kind of fortified a lot of key depth at running back, receiver, offensive line. Certainly Luke Haas coming back is super helpful at tight end as well too. A lot of pieces. We'll see who kind of arises at the top and is their number 1, number 2, number 3 option. But I think Kalen Green will not have a shortage of opportunities to kind of make plays downfield and keep driving into this kind of depth of offense and the offensive line talent.
You heard him talk about Luke Haas there. Chuck, we were talking about the end of this conversation yesterday, and Chuck made the point, this is one of the best football players you've had in quite some time. And the good thing about anytime Chuck says something like that, this is a guy that not only gets to watch him during games, has a very, just a high IQ from a broadcaster standpoint of just watching particular players over the years, but he gets a sense from coaches like Sam Pittman and others on what kind of caliber player that you have in the tight end room. We've seen what Bobby Petrino did with DJ Williams, hoping the track record continues with this young Luke Haas will be entering. I don't remember if he got a chance to redshirt, if he's a redshirt freshman or a sophomore, but this upcoming season, excited about them. Excited also to tell you about our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. I know we usually do this about 15 minutes before. We ran a little on with Bruce talking about fishing. And when it comes to fishing, there's no place better than the White River. It's the perfect getaway. Great lodges, great cabins. They've got that fully equipped kitchen, and they've got a great restaurant as well. My parents just go for the restaurant and the nature, which is wild. Many of you have gone for the incredible fishing. Heck, if I can catch 23 fish over 2 days, I bet you can catch like 30. Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. A first class time. Every time.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
This season, you pick the deals during New Holland's Ready to Roll sales event at WT Equipment. Get a new compact and save $2,300 cash back. Plus, choose 0 for 72 or add a free loader. You pick. Get 0% on select round balers and free net wrap. Or choose to pocket over $10,000 in cash back. NCBA member? Stack $2,500 off these already beefy offers. With work getting longer and budgets tighter, one choice is easy. Choose WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's the $1 million question.
This is the Morning Rush.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discount. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunshine, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Our high temperatures today right around 95. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. An overnight low will drop down in the low to mid 70s, and then a 50-50 chance of showers and storms Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday, upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 65 days.
Swing and a miss. And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball. They are the World Series champions.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
So, yes, the Tennessee Volunteers won the national championship last night. I say begrudgingly, angrily, irritated, however you want to frame it. You can probably figure out my mood this morning. And even in the midst of the national championship and winning the aftermath and everything, Tony Vitello had this to say about your baseball program and your head baseball coach.
That out. I did it as an assistant at Arkansas. And because Coach Van Horn gave me that opportunity and also helped lead me along the way, I mean, the one thing I'd like to say, and I think some of them appreciate I hustled around down there, and most of them hate me, which is fine. But what they need to realize is their program definitely had a hand in what happened tonight. There's no question about that. So I'm thankful for my personal opportunity. But guys like Xander and Dylan are benefactors of who I think is the best coach in the country. And Coach Van Horn is who I'm talking about.
Does that feel like it's like twisting the knife a little bit? Does it? Does that feel genuine? It might be. Maybe I'm just ticked off this morning. It's not even a What's Your Beef Wednesday, but I'm a day early, I guess. But does that feel real? Again, it very well could be. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I don't know. Just makes you wonder. Makes you think a little bit. And again, Tony could just be completely honest about Dave there. But I kind of thought there might be a shot underneath all of those compliments. You know, you kill him with smiles, you kill him with compliments. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off base on that. All right, we got Tom Murphy coming up in just a bit, as well as our Lindsay and Associates Pro Hog update. But I want to tell you about a new business in Northwest Arkansas. Now, I haven't made much of myself at all, to be honest. I got lucky to be where I am. But 2 of my buddies from college, Christian Olson, Nate Garehan. Nate's in like the banking financial sector. Christian works at Tyson. They have opened this incredible golf facility in Northwest Arkansas called Cart Path Social. It's the #1 destination for indoor golf. So maybe you want to play one of these awesome courses that you've watched on TV. Maybe you just want to practice your game. Here's the good thing about Cart Path Social. It's not per person, it's per bay. So it's just $50 an hour per bay. You can have up to 8 people in the bay. Or if you come in before 5 during the week, it's less than that. So 1 person to play, it's about 60 minutes. You got 60 minutes, right? It's one thing to ask the wife, it's one thing to ask the missus for 5 hours worth of time on a Saturday or on a weeknight or something, but you got 60 minutes to get in game, especially on a course that maybe you never played before. Here's one of the great parts about Cart Path Social. It's a BYOB establishment. Bring in your food, bring in your alcohol, bring in the fun. There's no golf tie required. You can just show up, Joe Schmo, very easy. It's an awesome place. I cannot wait to get back there. Again, Cart Path Social. You can check it out online, cartpathsocial.com. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. You can reach out to Nate Christian via email at cartpath.social@gmail.com or give them a call at 479-619-9750. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 9, Saturday from 7 to 9 for you early birds, early risers, and then Sunday from 12 to 9. It's Cart Path Social, the #1 Northwest Arkansas destination for indoor golf.
This is the Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog Update.
Fletcher launches one towards the pole. Dominic Fletcher. Goodbye. His first big league home run. #1 for Dominic Fletcher.
Whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
All right, Big C, what's going on in the world of Razorback sports and now just Major League Baseball until we get to NFL football season?
All right, Drew Smiley for the Chicago Cubs. In his last 7 games, he is 0-1 with a 1.04 ERA in 7 games pitched. He's pitched 8 2/3 innings, allowed 8 hits and 1 earned run. He has 10 strikeouts. And now for James McCann, sorry, got those two mixed up. He is on the Baltimore Orioles, and he is probably one of the better Razorback baseball players, the more veteran-laden player in the MLB right now. 21 at-bats in his last 7 games, 3 hits, 1 home run, 1 RBI, 9 strikeouts. He is batting .143. Dominic Fletcher, who you heard in that clip just then, he is on the White Sox, and he is got 16 at-bats in his last 7 games, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, and he's not batting for a great average, but for some reason the White Sox keep playing him, and I think he's got a bright future.
At center field, a guy that we saw at Arkansas, could absolutely hit the you-know-what out of a baseball speedster. When you look at him, you're like, that dude doesn't look that fast. And then you actually see him when he was going for a fly ball or whatever. He's got nowhere on the base paths. He's got some speed to him. He's a Cali kid. Definitely his baseball and his blood and his DNA with his brother. I know his brother was on, I believe, the Angels, if I remember that right. I don't know where he's at now, but it's something that we saw here at Arkansas, and hopefully we continue to see in the majors as well, Big C.
All right, in his last 7 games, Isaiah Campbell, pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, he is 0-1 with a 17.47 ERA in 7 games pitched, 5 2/3 innings. He's given up 13 hits, 11 earned runs, and he has 5 strikeouts.
At Zayde, I was always looking forward to Friday nights in 2019. It was a guy, you didn't know what you had after Blaine Knight. Isaiah was the 3rd guy in that rotation the previous year. It was Casey Murphy, I think, night 2, Rogers kid, and then really came on. So another KC kid. We talk about Kansas City's importance for baseball. Overland Park, if I remember correct, and hopefully that pipeline continues from the Kansas City area to Arkansas baseball because it's been a big part, no question about it.
Another player that's on the White Sox, along with Dominic Fletcher, kind of cool to see 2 Razorbacks on the same team, even though the White Sox not having the best year. Andrew Benintendi's having an okay year. In his last 7 games, he's had 20 at-bats. He's had 5 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and he struck out 5 times. He's batting .250, which isn't bad for a player in the MLB.
Yeah, he's a guy that had a home run last week, if I remember right. He continues to show that he has some power from time to time. I still remember the plays he was making as a Boston Red Sox early on in his career, and probably is going to be in the majors for a handful of years to come.
Now, Brian Anderson, he is now on the Atlanta Braves, and in his last 7 games, he's had 5 at-bats and 2 strikeouts. Hasn't done much with the bat lately, but he's a guy that's been in the league for a while, and I know there for a while he was on the Marlins, and he was one of their better players. He's just kind of on a new team right now, and I'm sure he'll get things figured out.
Yeah, so baseball-wise right now, Arkansas doesn't have, like, maybe necessarily the stars. I think basketball's a little further along with some of the guys that have stepped up. You've got some guys coming down the pipe. We will be talking pretty soon about Hagen Smith and Peyton Stovall and where they end up. Maybe we get into some draft projections next week. I can't remember if it was Ruskin and Zach or halftime yesterday talking about Hagen potentially the Royals. It'd be pretty cool to see him in a Northwest Arkansas Natural uniform. Have no idea what the Royals are thinking in terms of their draft pick. But I know for close to home, right here in Northwest Arkansas, you'd love to see Hagen playing at our best ballpark.
A guy that's on a guy that's kind of underrated in the MLB. He's on the Colorado Rockies, also not a great team, but he is quietly performing well. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss in his last 7 games, a 2.16 ERA in 7 games pitched. He's pitched 8 1/3 innings, given up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and he's got 5 strikeouts, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, again, a lot of guys that are in the league right now just don't have that mainstay, that main star. And you might have one. Again, we've seen I don't know if it's fair, when we've said this, I don't know if it's fair to expect a Hagen to do what Paul Skeens has done, but that would be cool to see how quick it takes for Hagen to make the major league. So we know he's going to play there. He's not a minor league pitcher. That guy's got stuff to be a major league pitcher, and to see what else he's able to do moving forward. All right, that is your Lindsay & Associates Pro Hogs update. They're celebrating their 50th year in the real estate business, and they are the leading real estate company in Northwest Arkansas. So you might be listing, you might be selling, or you might be leasing. They can handle all of your real estate needs. Over 200 professionally trained agents in locations of Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bentonville. Lindsay & Associates, winning choice. Go to lindsay.com and search all of their current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together. And we bring in Tom Murphy here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline this morning. Tom, appreciate you jumping in with us as always. You, of course, probably got to take in what happened in Omaha last night. How should Arkansas baseball fans feel about their former assistant, Tony Vitello, winning? He's only been there 7 years, 3 of the last 4 College World Series he's been a part of, #1 seed, won the SEC tournament. What's your sense of how Arkansas fans should and maybe are feeling this morning?
Right, and good morning, everybody. Well, I don't want to tell anybody how to feel, but I'm aware that there are fans who are probably still, upset or frustrated with Tony that, they had the flare up on the field in Knoxville when Arkansas was winning 2 or 3 a few years ago. But, Dave Van Horn has since said they're all good, and, this is alpha dudes doing their thing, in high stress competition of the recruiting. And I'm still there. I'm sure they're still good. So here's the way I feel about it. Tony was good to me while he was here. He's an intense guy. His brand, and I've said it on the show before, it's gonna carry on. Even if they hadn't won this, he's got a good thing going. And I don't know if there's been any news overnight that, Texas is hard after him. But if I'm Tony Vitello, I'm building a legacy in Knoxville for now. So we'll see. But anyway, how should Arkansas fans feel? Well, probably happy that one of Dave's top proteges has gone on and won a national championship. And honestly, you can't help but reference 2018 and how Arkansas should have won that one, and then the SEC streak will, be extended one more year, actually. And you got the sense from Tennessee this season that the team they had 2 years ago that was the best team in the country, #1 all the whole way, they were kind of fighting to remedy, make good on that. Just like Arkansas, in 2018, they came back in 2021 and had the best team. It's just that Arkansas hasn't had the chance to come back and remedy that situation.
You referenced the Texas job, which they let go of David Pierce, their baseball coach. There are rumors flying around in Omaha that it's either going to be Vitello or Schlossnagle that gets named. Schlossnagle got asked about it. He was not happy, left the press conference directly after that question. Tom, in your mind, could you see either one of them taking the job at Austin, Texas as the head baseball coach?
Well, me and some of the guys around who cover the Razorbacks yesterday had this discussion. And how Texas was it that on the day of the national championship that the Pierce thing goes down? I mean, it's not. I mean, if you're going to do it, can't you wait a day? I don't know what caused the timing of it, but not
arrogance.
Really cool.
Arrogance, Tom. That's what caused it.
It really is. That's not cool. It brings a bad light on the program, honestly. And if I'm either one of those guys, and I've already talked about the Tony thing. I mean, he's the man in Knoxville, Tennessee. He brought the first championship since T. Martin in the football program in '98. And so if I'm Jim Schlossnagle, I know he's good friends with Chris Del Conte, but he's got a nice thing going at A&M, and he's only been there 3 years now.
Yep.
And so I don't know if I would do that. I just just the fact that it happened on the day you're playing in the national championship would rub me the wrong way.
I'm with you 100%. Tom Murphy is our guest. Whole Hot Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. I'm curious what your buddy Kirk Bowles is hearing in terms of who covers the Longhorns for the Austin American-Statesman, what's going on there. And I know that you guys are probably going to be having more conversations often, Tom. With July 1st, next Monday, Texas and Oklahoma officially join the Southeastern Conference. I'm of the belief, Tom, that Oklahoma's going to struggle right off the bat. I think they might have 5 or 6 losses on their schedule looking at what they have ahead. How do you feel about the Sooners and the Longhorns in year number 1, football-wise, in this league?
Well, it was one of the early dominoes in this latest kind of round of the major conferences starting to separate themselves and pull away and move toward greater autonomy. And if you read any of Ross Dellinger from over the weekend, that's the way things seem to be going. And the SEC obviously got to snap up 2 of the biggest traditional programs with huge coffers in the country and keep their, quote, geographical footprint intact. I'm more of a traditionalist. I wasn't that happy when A&M and Missouri joined the league. It broke away from the 12, but I guess the conference leaders sensed at that time that this is the way things are going. I don't know if there's ever putting the genie back in the bottle on the direction college sports is going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to conflate that issue with what you asked me. So I'll just say this. It puts Arkansas in, both of these schools have huge budgets, have great football traditions, and OU's winning a lot of other championships, in women's gymnastics and softball. They've got a pretty good all-around program. So it's a greater competition, and I'm not going to be a fan of the one set of standings in football. I think it's stupid.
Oh, I agree 100%. I know we were going off on it a week or so ago. Right in lockstep with you, Mr. Tom Murphy. I want to ask Arkansas football. So we had this guy, Eric Galco, on yesterday who heads up the Shrine Bowl, basically. East-West, seniors, bunch of guys he gets to scout and look at. We talked Taylor Green. I think people are excited about him. One of the guys, not that Taylor won a big deal, but I'm really excited about Jaquinton Jackson, Tom. You got a chance to watch him in spring. Injured a lot in Utah and Salt Lake City. Talked about that with you and others in the media sessions. What kind of piece do you think he is as an addition, especially losing Rocket Sanders in South Carolina and Augusta to Deion Sanders in Colorado?
Yeah, and A.J. Green.
That too, yep.
To Oklahoma State. But, I think he's a huge piece. We saw in the spring game that he turned a pass into a touchdown with a little wiggle to him. And so he's going to be a dangerous guy. I think he's a rugged enough guy to go between the tackles. I don't know if he's, quite the home run hitter if he gets a crease on the edge, but he's just going to be really solid. And I think with he and DeBinion, you got a great 1-2, and then there's other pieces like Braylon Russell and so on. But I think Jaquindon Jackson is going to be have a chance to be one of the better backs in the SEC because he played through that ankle injury last year, and Arkansas has just had so much turnover on key skill positions that you do wonder how it will all come together. They're not going to be, well regarded. I guess we're going to pick the conferences 1 through 16. So I'm imagining they're going to be 12 or lower on what the media picks Arkansas to finish.
I would guess you're probably right on that. Tom, last thing before we let you go, we got about 30 seconds here. UCA and Little Rock, it sounds like, according to John Rothstein. We got multiple non-conference games already set. This is the one outside of Oakland that sounds like it's going to be played in the state. What do you think about this seemingly being on Arkansas' schedule as we let you go here?
Yeah, love it. You got to keep, the fact that they dropped the in-state deal, the ban on scheduling them has been really good. We're going to get a big football game with Arkansas State here in 25. That's really key for Arkansas. So I like it. It's good for everyone involved in the state.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. We really appreciate you jumping on with us as always. We'll catch up on Thursday, and we'll see if there's any other news outside of just commitments these next few days.
Outstanding. See ya.
That is good stuff from our buddy Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Whole Hog Sports here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Now, we have already given away a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card this morning on a Trivia Tuesday. I got something else that we've got to give away. So Hogtown Card and Memorabilia is partnering with Landon Jackson for the Landon Jackson Youth Football Camp. That is Saturday, July the 20th, less than a month from now, at Cyclo Stadium in Russellville. The camp is open to all kids from 6 to 14 years old. Each camper is going to get a signed picture of Arkansas's best defensive player, Landon Jackson, t-shirt, goodie bag, and a photo with Landon. So if you want to sign up for this camp, if you got a son, granddaughter, whoever, HogtownMemorabilia.com. Sponsorship opportunities are available for those that need financial assistance. And again, visit HogtownMemorabilia.com for more information. It gets July the 20th at Cyclone Stadium at Russellville. We're giving away giveaways to the camp. And what does that include, you ask? They're going to get, like I said, signed photo, t-shirt, goodie bag, and stuff with Landon. So if you want a chance to send your kiddo to this camp, call or text us 877-377-6963 on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Make sure you give Big C your name, the age of the camper, kid's name, and an email address and a phone number. Again, Landon Jackson Camp Giveaway, thanks to Hogtown Card and Memorabilia, 877-377-6963.
For the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback Tyler Spoon, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and control access for your business. Call the Fitzman and ask about 18-month same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit and $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine. Ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you have a great time. Going fishing? Jelco has one of the largest selections of fishing equipment and gear for your day on the water. Taking a vacation? Jelco has a great selection of casual shirts, shorts, and comfortable shoes to make your vacation one to remember. Fall is not far away, so start getting your bows and guns ready for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for all season. Have a great summer. From Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, and we need your trade. This month, the trade-in acquisition event continues with up to 27% bonus cash on your trade on any one of our road-ready certified used cars with warranty. You can't buy a better used car, and you can't pick a better time than right now. Up to 27% bonus cash for your trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chuck, it's good to hear you, man.
Good to talk to you, Joe.
It's always good to hear your voice.
Roderick Green. Across the 50. Still on his feet. That could be 99 yards.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Seems like a lot of people have a son or grandson that is interested in the camp. So, again, we appreciate everyone reaching out to us. It's good feedback on this program. Speaking of good feedback, seem to get good feedback from people that stop in and see our buddy Larry at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and his son David at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Larry, it's the end of the month, and I know for a car dealer at the end of the month, you're always trying to help people with deals. I've been watching the videos lately. Not only you guys always giving away stuff on social media, you've got some specific specials I know you want to tell people about.
Well, the biggest thing, that's exactly right, Ty. And the very biggest thing that we've got going on right now through the end of the month, we're doing state sales tax paid when you trade. And that's a big deal, folks. That can really help you get into more car. It can move your timing forward. Maybe you're saving money to take care of that sales tax. We're going to take care of that for you when you trade your car at either dealership, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, and make that so much easier for you, save you a bunch of money, give you a reason to come on in and go ahead and get that car you've been waiting on right here before the end of June at Rath Auto Resources or Rath Mitsubishi. We've still got those big specials going on, too, on the Mitsubishi products. 0% interest, trade-in assistance, $2,000 worth of rebates. We've got so many different things going on there. I have a hard time keeping up with it, but it's a great time. The summer sales event is going on with Mitsubishi. Just a terrific time to jump in there. And we've got a big inventory of those, particularly the Outlander. And if you haven't seen it, folks, come on in, take a look at it, test drive it. It's the best-looking compact SUV out there. And it's less expensive. It's better looking, it's got better tech, and it's got a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So at least come in and put it on your list. Come by and let one of the guys answer your questions, take a test drive, see what you think about the product, because it will save you some money. And we've got a good inventory of those, too. So it's a very exciting time. It's a great time to come see us. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
And again, state sales tax paid when you trade the rest of the month at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith. And again, stop by and see David in Springdale, Rath Mitsubishi. Make sure you ask him what his favorite Back to the Future movie is. Larry, have a good rest of your month. Sounds like you're well headed in that direction, my guy.
Yes, sir. We're ready. And folks, come and see us.
Also, make sure you tell Larry where you're rolling to next. I know he likes to know where the first trip is planned when you get that new or pre-owned vehicle. Well, I know where Oliver Miller's heading to. That's the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the Big O, who's going to be a part of this 2024 class. The ceremony is coming up Tuesday, August the 13th in Waco, Texas. This is a Fort Worth guy, Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I know that Oliver, his family, Razorback Nation's pumped for him, man. How the heck did it take this long? This is the all-time field goal percentage leader in Arkansas. It's a guy that won the Player of the Year in the Southwest Conference by the coaches in 91. Why is it taking, as our buddy JT in Hot Springs put it earlier, 32 years for this award to be divvied out, or this accolade, I should say, to be divvied out? He's already a part of a couple Hall of Fames, the Southeastern Conference Legends class, which I guess you can consider, and the University of Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor. And again, would love to get on Oliver sometime this week to talk about that accomplishment, not just that accomplishment, but many of the things that he's done at Arkansas. Big C, us being the same age, this is the only bad part of the job, is when I talk to people about like what it was like back then and stuff, and like getting a chance to see some of these guys live. I mean, I can only watch so many replays of games, so many highlights of the War Machine, read so many articles, talk to Clay, talk to Chuck. It's just our age. It's just a bummer sometimes we didn't get to see these guys.
Oh, I think about that all the time. How awesome it would have felt to be, even just a teenager or a kid. Even I wasn't even born yet when they won the national title. But some great teams back then, and yeah, all the things I know about those teams and stuff, all the things I've watched has come off the internet, YouTube, and I recognize it, but it's hard to know. It's hard to appreciate those guys when you didn't grow up watching them. It's hard to appreciate them as much when you didn't grow up watching them. That's for sure. Yeah, no, and again, I love hearing about them, love reading about them, and it's cool to see stuff like this happen all these years later. It sounds like that, according to a lot of people, this should have happened way before 2024. Nevertheless, congrats to Oliver Miller. Hey, I had a great patty melt the other night from Art's Barbecue and Burgers off Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Every time I'm there, Wade's there. Wade needs to play more golf.
I know he's got this great restaurant he's got to keep care of. He's honestly got two. He's out at Joe's, taking a friend to Joe's later on today. But Wade, play more golf, man. Take some time off. You need to, even though it's hot outside. I know it's probably hot with those pit smokers and everything, but you're always going to get a great burger. You're going to get great barbecue. Heck, I even had a great salad. I'm not a pro salad guy. Tommy loves to get the salads. I know Brent was messing with me about that, but it was fantastic. I know when I step into Arch Barbecue and Burgers, which basically sealed, Tommy will tell you that, well, I sealed the deal because I'm the boss and I'm the market manager. We have great company. No, honestly, the deal was sealed when John took me to Arch back in the day, and I got some of that fresh bacon. So if you're looking for something, anything to get you through the summer months and to just fill that belly of yours, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is the place to go. The Patty Melt, the Art Attack, they've got all these new burgers as well that you need to try. I'm trying to make my way through them as we speak these next few weeks so I can say I've crossed all of them off the list. That is Art's Barbecue and Burgers off Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tell Wade, tell Morgan, tell the rest of the crew hi from ESPN Arkansas. All right, when we return here on the Morning Rush, SEC update. Want to round up this Tony Vitello, Jim Schlossnagle conversation, what happened in the College World Series last night, and tie it back to what's going on with your program in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
You think you could weld two pieces of wood together?
Wood? You weld wood?
I was going to see how far you'd go with that.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure at Wheels RV. We're rolling out Father's Day specials all month long. Treat your family to a summer they'll never forget. Camping has always been a perfect way to disconnect from the world and tune into family and friends. We make it easy with exclusive discounts and bonus offers on our entire inventory, including Brinkley, Grand Design, and Forest River. Let's make this Father's Day one he'll never forget. Visit us at Wheels RV and start your journey to endless summer memories.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the Morning Rush.
Razorback!
When I go out to eat, I want something fresh. I don't want something that's been sitting in a freezer or processed. When I go to Lily Sandwich Shop, I am satisfied to the max. That's because Josefa makes everything fresh and uses that River Valley farm fresh produce during our long growing season. Stop by Lily Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District and become another satisfied customer. The sandwiches speak for themselves.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
But except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
This wasn't fun last night.
Miss. For the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball. They are the World Series champions.
I just want Carl Ravitch to say that's so bad about Arkansas. We've been an Arkansas, Dave Van Horn, whatever. I don't care if it's the corniest thing in the world, but last night just gave me even more fire. I hope it gave David additional fire. Now, I think we've had discussions on this program, shouting matches to a certain degree, about kind of where Arkansas baseball is right now in the regular season and stuff. I think you're at a point with like Tennessee and Florida and South Carolina. I know South Carolina's are less recent, but all these SEC teams are won national championships. That's the singular goal right now, right? At least I think it is. Maybe I'll feel differently if things change. That's kind of where I am right now. I think the goal needs to be a national championship or bust type of mentality. I don't know how you do that as a coach, to be honest. But when I see the success that other schools are having and then finishing, like, for example, Tennessee, number 1 seed, finally breaks the curse since 99. They win the SEC championship, by the way, too, and do that. Bruce made a point earlier. It's like they want to win down in Hoover. And they had talent where it wasn't worn out. Now, A&M, were fortunate. I say Tennessee, not A&M. Tennessee was fortunate that A&M was a little banged up and dinged up in this series. And I know Jim Schlossnagle would have to wonder, hey, what would have happened if our guys were fully healthy? It's part of the game. It's part of the sport. It's part of any sport for that matter. I bring up Schlossnagle. He gets asked last night, hey, Coach, what about these rumors on this Texas job?
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
In that kind of that angry response, you hear he said, I understand that you have to ask the question. Of course he has to ask the question. When you have this stuff happen, you're one of the most prominent coaches in all of baseball, potentially going to your rival, your hated rival. Again, I say potentially. I don't know what the proper word is to use in this case, because there might be nothing to it. But I don't begrudge him for answering that way. I also don't think that we should criticize the reporter for asking a question that everyone wants to know. Is Jim Schlossnagle going to leave College Station, Texas for Austin, Texas? He's already left Fort Worth for College Station, so it's not unreasonable, it's not unfathomable to think that he might do the same for a premier baseball program. And say what you want. I know Texas has not been the same in quite some time in that baseball program, but that is a school that has had some track record of success with baseball, with national championships and whatnot. All right, that is your SEC update this morning. We got a few more things to get into, including Texas. And it's brought to you by our friends at Burn Pools and Spas. They've got the red, white, and blue sale going on right now, where you buy an in-ground pool, you get a heater absolutely free. Save up to $1,500 on Doughboy above-ground pools, or make a splash on the semi-in-ground pool, starting with monthly payments for $200. Get fit at home with an endless pool and enjoy free workout accessories worth $700. Fort Smith, Springdale, and their newest location in Greenland. We do more than just build pools. We build long-term relationships. BurdenPools.com. So a few of the things that we wrap up the show. I hadn't done this yet. So it's Bandwagon Tuesday, right? And I'm on the bandwagon here on National Catfish Day of the blackened catfish. I'm also on the bandwagon of this hire in Los Angeles, California, of J.J. Redick absolutely falling on his face. Now, what you'll probably cackle at what he's about to say, and deservedly so. According to Coach Redick, him and LeBron didn't really have discussions about the Laker job.
He didn't provide any advice. LeBron and I did not talk about the Lakers job until Thursday afternoon, about 30 minutes after I was offered the job. And that was very intentional on both our parts. I knew I had an understanding that he did not want to be involved in this. And for me, I didn't want to go down the path of hypotheticals with someone that I consider a friend and someone that I have a great amount of respect for. So for us, it just came down to literally Thursday afternoon.
I don't know if there's anything been more egregious lied to sports media and the Los Angeles Laker fan base than what JJ just said right there. I'm on the bandwagon. This thing is going to epically fail. Epically fail. LeBron James is coach killer. He has been. There is rewards to a certain extent for being the coach of LeBron James. We've seen it with Frank Vogel. We've seen it with a couple other coaches here and there, Tyronn Lue and others, that you have a chance to win an NBA Finals, but it's not going to last long. And this is not going to last long in Los Angeles, California. I don't think this can work. I could be proven wrong. If not for Christian Laettner, J.J. Redick would be the most hated Duke player of all time. But Christian Laettner supersedes and really dominates that discussion and conversation. I know you probably didn't like Bobby Hurley, but no one, and I mean no one, is as bad as Christian Laettner, in my opinion. Christian, or Big C, what is your thoughts? I'm mentioning Christian. I'll bring you in as a Christian. What's going to happen in Los Angeles with this job? Is it going to work or not work? I think it's going to flop.
Yeah, it's weird because he's a younger guy, obviously friends with LeBron. It wouldn't. My first thought is he the best the Lakers can get?
This is the second most storied franchise in the sport, and you settled for a guy that's never coached before, based on a relationship he had with your best player doing a podcast. I mean, if you're Jerry Buss and you're watching down on your franchise, I would be irate if I was Jerry Buss. Irate at what my daughter has done with the hiring of this process. Not prior to, because I wanted, I guess, an NBA Finals just a few years ago during the COVID year, but this is a terrible
Or
hire.
they're not even any, active head coaches right now that you could pluck away from other teams. I mean, the Lakers should be able to do that, right? But to be fair, the Lakers' job isn't the best situation right now, so maybe that played a factor into this. I mean, because it had to be the right type of person. Obviously, Hurley would have got his shot in the NBA, which is an incentive for him. JJ Redick's never been a head coach. Obviously, he's going to get a lot more money. I think
hadn't even been an assistant. Like there's no track record of this. He's been an analyst and he's done a podcast and he's coached that 4th grade, 5th grade team or whatever it was. This is just going to be bad. Like it's one thing for Tony Vitello to win a championship, which I'm not happy about. But TCU, Arkansas, I think there was another pit stop here or there, if I remember right. There's at least, and he's 45, which I guess JJ is probably close to that. But there's at least a track record of some coaching. There's no track record of JJ coaching. It's solely based on just a relationship. That, you know what they say, it's not about the grades you make, it's about the hands you shake. This is going to be a colossal failure for an organization and a franchise that is still one of the most storied in not just the NBA, but all of sports. But they're making a massive, massive mistake here, in my opinion. I don't know how you frame it any other way.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're basing it on, like what makes him a good candidate. They could just be willing to take that risk right now, but it's weird for the Lakers to do that because it's championship or bust for them almost every year. I don't know. Has their expectations kind of lowered a little bit?
Who knows? I'm not in that locker room. I'm not in that board meeting, but that's what they're going with. And we'll see if it ends up panning out one way or another. Now, Tyler in El Dorado text in on the McLarty Daniel hotline saying Grayson Allen is worse than either Christian Laettner or J.J. Redick. Grayson Allen is up there for sure. That honestly, you might be right. J.J. might be third, if I'm being honest, Tyler. That is a good text here on the McLarty Daniel hotline. We've got plenty of feedback this morning on the McLarty Daniel hotline, particularly about what happened last night, how it ties into your baseball program. We played the clip several times of Tony giving credit to Dave Van Horn. This program said that this is one of the best fan bases in the country. I can't figure out if that was real or sarcasm and just kind of, twisting the knife. It may be, again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm just ticked off right now. But I think there might be more to those comments than you think. I don't know. We'll see. But I do know one thing. He's not leaving Knoxville now. This idea, and I think it was actually a conceivable idea prior to last night or prior to maybe his future titles if he's able to win one. But, y'all, he's not leaving Knoxville, Tennessee. $100 million stadium renovation. They're going to be flush with NIL money. He's got his athletics director and administration behind him. Heck, he's got Peyton Manning, Mortal behind him. He's got Josh Heupel and Rick Barnes going to the game. I mean, that is in lockstep right now as an athletics department. And here's my hope. If I'm Hunter Yurchek and I'm watching last night, and I think back to 2021, where you have Dave and Sam and Muss all together. I know Muss ain't here, but hopefully Cal will make an appearance at a football or baseball game. That's what you want. You want the appearance, and you want your coaches to actually, not just on the surface, but behind closed doors, to like each other and have the same concept, the same ideas as an athletic department to win. Because that's what's going on in Knoxville, Tennessee right now. And I've gotten a text or two this morning. Ty, is this a Tennessee? I'm just telling you, Danny White's doing something right. And hopefully, this was the worst year of Arkansas sports in a while, right? Football goes 4-8. Basketball doesn't even make it close to the tournament. Baseball underwhelms. What usually happens after a valley. Hopefully a mountain. Hopefully we get back to what it was like in 2021 a little bit more. And you had the number one baseball team in the country. I know they didn't pan out and make it to the College World Series, but football wins 9 games. Basketball makes it to the Elite Eight. That's what I'm hoping for. You know what they say about hope sometimes. Hey, it's been a good show this morning here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. If you're in need of a plumber, look no further than West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services. They've been around since 1993. Maybe you got a clogged drain, your water heater is on the fritz. Call 646-5151. Things aren't flowing right. Whatever you're going through, give them a call. They've been around since 1993. They're a community supporter, so the money that you pay goes right back into the community. Westark says no to crack in your pipes and your plumber. Again, call Westark Plumbing 646-5151 today. Tomorrow, our buddy Clay Henry joins us a little earlier in the morning, 7 o'clock. Excited to get him. Hopefully, Big O, maybe we talk some more NBA draft, as that is tomorrow night. 2-day event for the first time in the history of the NBA. So we'll talk to Clay, we'll talk to Richard Davenport, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning, starting at 6 a.m.
This June, celebrate Dad with a gift of adventure.